Queen of Ver sent humanity a death threat sealed in black crystal, and Captain Elias Marr did not burn it, did not answer it, did not hide it in some archive. He polished the frame himself, hung it beside the medal she had accidentally earned for him. And when a reporter asked why any sane man would decorate his cabin with the promise of execution, Elias smiled like someone who had watched terror lose its teeth and said, "Because it reminds me she was afraid before she knew she was afraid." The Ver Dominion had ruled Orion's Spur for centuries, not by diplomacy, but by terror. Kneel early and live small, resist late and vanish. Queen Maurith wore a crown made from conquered hulls. When her scouts discovered Earth, she saw a divided blue planet with wars, loud governments, and ships barely fit for patrol. She sent one message to every screen on the planet: "Humans, surrender your commanders and your shipyards, or I will hang your moon in chains." For 3 seconds, Earth went silent. Then humanity began doing what it did best: arguing. Leaders shouted. Generals accused. Scientists calculated. Civilians protested. And under all that noise, a decision formed like iron cooling in water. No nation wanted to kneel first. No parent wanted their child to learn submission as a native language. So Earth answered through Captain Elias Marr, a coalition officer with tired eyes and a voice calm enough to frighten monsters. "Queen Mareth," he said, respectfully no. That was the first thing the galaxy failed to understand. Humans were not fearless. Humans were capable of being terrified and moving forward anyway. The Dominion attacked Mars to break human morale. Violet engines filled the red sky, stations shattered into burning arcs, and every broadcast on Earth showed the colony under alien shadows. Mareth expected panic. Instead, she saw 23 human ships arrive. Mining haulers with cannons welded to their ribs, hospital carriers wrapped in armor, museum warships dragged from retirement, and at their center, the resolute Captain Marr's flagship. Too old to impress anyone, and too stubborn to die quietly, the human fleet scattered, hid behind moons, blinded sensors with dust storms, vented fuel into false signatures, and made the Dominion fire into its own formation. The first Vea Admiral fell not to superior technology, but to human improvisation, bad odds, and one mechanic saying, "Captain, this might work after Mars." Queen Mareth sent the threat, a slab of black crystal carried by a captured probe. "Elias Marr, commander of vermin, when Earth falls, you will be dragged before my throne. Your name will be erased, your defiance displayed, and your species taught to regret the hour it mistook survival for strength." The officers who read it went pale. Intelligence called it psychological warfare. Elias called for a frame. He placed it in his cabin beside the bronze Star of Soul, a medal made from melted holes lost over Mars. When his first officer asked why, Elias said, "One shows what we lost. The other shows she noticed." Then came the siege of Earth, and the sky became a ceiling of enemy metal. 200 Dominion warships blocked sunlight across oceans and cities. Their shadows rolled over farms, temples, towers, and roads. Mareth opened a channel. "Captain Marr, remove that insult from your wall and kneel, and I may let 10% of your species live." Elias stood on the bridge of the Resolute, 30 hours awake, and behind him, visible to every camera, hung the framed threat with a lamp glowing above it. He answered, "Your Majesty?" I added a light above it. People laughed. Not because it was funny, but because laughter is sometimes the last match struck in the dark. The sound spread through bunkers, hospitals, factories, and cockpits. Pilots gripped controls tighter. Engineers sealed reactor doors with steadier hands. And Mareth finally understood that threats did not shrink humans. Threats gave them something solid to push against. That was the second truth. Empires win by making tomorrow feel impossible. Humanity survives by making one more hour worth fighting for. The battle lasted 14 hours. Luna line broke. Satellites died one by one. Continents trembled under near misses, but the human plan had never depended on a clean victory. Clean victories belonged to species with better ships. Humans had prepared something uglier. Whether satellites became mirrors, cargo drones became ghosts, and from hidden Pacific platforms, engines launched hollow asteroids once stored for mining. Marith saw them too late. The rocks did not strike her fleet. They bent its formation, dragged shields out of alignment, and turned Dominion geometry into panic. Into that gap, Ilias drove the Resolute. Not alone, never alone. Every surviving human ship followed. One destroyer had painted "Frameness" across its bow. When the Queen ordered all guns onto the flagship, 12 human ships crossed in front of it. Because someone had to keep the line alive for 10 more seconds. Ilias used those seconds to fire a weapon no Ver system expected. Not a missile, not a virus, but a broadcast of every surrender oath the Dominion had forced from conquered worlds. Millions of voices flooded Marith's command network. Kings whispering defeat, mothers begging for cities. Councils surrendering under terror. The Ver systems froze for 4 seconds. And for seconds was enough. Earth fired from below. Luna fired from ruins. Mars fired from behind. The Dominion flagship lost its shield crown, and for the first time in centuries, the Queen's throne shook. Marith survived. Humans refused to make her a martyr. They boarded her ship and found her beneath torn banners, still proud, still furious, still unable to understand why Elias Mar had never begged. He entered with his sidearm lowered and offered her the black crystal threat. She whispered, "You kept this." Elias nodded. "I needed something to hang beside your medal." She frowned. "I gave you no medal." "No," he said. "But you gave humanity a reason to stand together years later." The Museum of First Contact displayed 2 objects side by side. A bronze medal made from broken human ships, and a black crystal threat from a fallen queen. Guides told visitors about Captain Elias Mar, who framed fear and placed it beside honor. Because he knew a threat is only powerful until someone refuses to carry it like shame. And that was how the galaxy learned final human truth, when an empire sends humanity a warning. Humanity may frame it, light it, laugh at it, and turn it into the first chapter of victory.